My name is Eric. That's not my real name, but it's the name everyone has called me for so long that it feels more real than the one on my birth certificate. I'm 35 years old now. A year ago, something happened that changed my life forever. My best friend died. His name was Steven. We had been friends for 20 years, 2 decades of laughter, dreams, arguments, adventures, and memories that now live only in my mind. His death left a hole in my life that can never truly be filled, and along with that hole came something heavier: regret. Before I tell you about the darkest day of my life, I need to go back to the beginning, back to when everything was simple. Steven and I first met in middle school. During our first year, we weren't in the same class. I only knew him by reputation. People said he was funny, loud, and full of energy, the kind of person who could make an entire room laugh without even their eyeing. It wasn't until the following year that we ended up in the same classroom. That's when our story truly began. At first, we were just classmates. We borrowed pens from each other, we asked about homework, we complained about strict teachers. Small conversations that seemed meaningless at the time, but those small moments slowly built something stronger. Steven had a way of making life feel lighter. If I was too serious, he would crack a joke. If I hesitated, he would take the first step. We were different in many ways, but somehow we balanced each other perfectly. After school, we almost never went straight home. We played soccer in an empty field near the neighborhood. We hung out at a small roadside stall, talking about girls, about teachers we disliked, about the future that felt so wide open and full of promise. During school holidays, our friendship turned into adventure. We climbed mountains together with barely enough equipment and more courage than common sense. We camped on the beach, laughing through the night under a sky filled with stars. We got lost on hiking trails. We got caught in the rain without shelter. We ran out of money before the end of the month. But none of it felt hard because we were together. We used to say, no matter what happens in the future, we'll always stay friends. Back then, those words felt unbreakable, certain, eternal. Time moved on. We graduated. By coincidence, or maybe fate, we were both accepted into the same university. I chose economics, Steven chose engineering. We laughed when we found out. It felt like life was giving us another chapter together. We decided to rent a small house near campus. It wasn't fancy. The paint on the walls was peeling, the kitchen was tiny, the furniture barely matched. But that little house became the center of our young adult lives. Late-night talks, instant noodles at 2 a.m., shared worries about exams and the future. Our first year in college went smoothly. We were motivated, focused, full of ambition. But in our second year, something changed. Steven started playing online games more often. At first, it seemed harmless, just a way to relax after classes. I didn't think much of it. I was busy with assignments and campus activities. But slowly, it became more than just a hobby. He stayed up all night gaming. He woke up late. He started skipping classes. I warned him a few times. "Stev, don't let it get out of control. You'll fall behind," I told him one night. He just laughed. "Relax, Rick. I can catch up." But he never did. His grades dropped drastically. Warning letters came. And then the final blow. He was expelled from the university. I still remember the look on his face that day. He wasn't angry. He wasn't crying. He was just empty, as if something inside him had quietly collapsed. After that, our lives slowly drifted apart. Not because we fought, not because we stopped caring, but because life began pulling us in different directions. I immersed myself in my studies, determined to build the future I had always dreamed of. Steven tried to find his own path outside of campus. We still talked sometimes, but it wasn't the same. Years passed. I graduated and got a job at a mining company. My career slowly began to grow. My first salary, my first office. Small achievements that once felt like distant dreams were becoming reality. One day, in the middle of my busy schedule, I decided to meet Steven. I missed him. I missed the simplicity of our younger days. When I saw him again, my heart sunk. The Steven standing in front of me was no longer the energetic boy I had grown up with. His clothes were worn out, his body looked thinner, his face seemed tired. His eyes carried a heaviness I couldn't fully understand. We talked for a long time. He told me life hadn't been easy. He worked odd jobs, construction work, temporary labor, anything he could find. The pay was unstable, never enough. He felt like left behind while everyone else was moving forward. I tried to encourage him. I gave him some money to help him get by. "This is just temporary," I told him. "You'll bounce back. I know you will." He smiled. But it wasn't the same smile I remembered. After that meeting, we returned to our separate lives once again. A few months later, I received a call. The voice on the other end sounded heavy. "Rick, Stephen is gone." I didn't understand at first. Gone? What did that mean? Stephen had taken his own life. My world froze. I rushed to the funeral home. There he was, my best friend, lying still and silent. The same person who once climbed mountains with me. The same person who laughed the loudest during our beach nights. Now motionless, quiet. I asked his family what had happened. After our last meeting, he had borrowed money from many people, even from banks. He was drowning in debt just to survive. The pressure became unbearable. He fell into deep depression. He felt like there was no way out. And so he ended his life. The weight of regret hit me harder than anything I've ever felt. Why didn't I push him harder back in college? Why didn't I check on him more often? Why didn't I see the signs? I keep replaying our memories in my mind. The mountain hikes, the beach nights, the promises we made as teenagers who thought friendship could conquer anything. Life taught me something painful. Sometimes we get so focused on chasing the future that we forget to look back at the people who once walked beside us. Yes, it's important to fight hard for your future, to work hard while you're young so you can build a better ending for your life. But it's just as important not to leave people behind, to notice when someone you love is struggling, to speak up, to care before it's too late. If you're reading this and you feel like life is too heavy, please don't carry it alone. Talk to someone. Ask for help. No failure, no debt, no mistake is worth your life. I miss Stephen every single day. Sometimes I imagine what I would say if I had one more chance. I would sit longer, listen deeper, tell him that failing doesn't define a person, that being left behind doesn't mean the race is over. But time doesn't rewind. Stephen is gone. But he will always remain a part of me, a part of my story, a part of the boy I used to be. And every time I look at the night sky filled with stars, I remember two teenagers sitting on the beach, dreaming about a future they thought would be easy. I hope wherever he is now, he has finally found the peace he couldn't find here. Thank you for listening to my story.